So here we are, we're going to look at finding the surface area of a pyramid that does not have a square base in this case. So first of all, we need to know that surface area means that we're finding the area of all the surfaces and then adding them all together. So in a pyramid, how many faces or surfaces do I need to worry about? Well, I've got the bottom, that's a rectangle, then I've got a triangle right here, then a triangle right here, then a triangle right here, and finally one right here. So I've got one base and then 4 triangles. Alright, so let's start with the base. So the area of that base there, well, it's a rectangle right here, right? So it's really just going to be a simple length times width. Okay? So area would be length times width, so that would be 10 feet times 8 feet, which then gives me 80 square feet for that rectangle that's at the bottom. Now I need to take the triangles. So in this figure, I've got 4 triangles to worry about. What I notice is that since this is a length of 10 right here, and this is a length of 8 feet, I actually realize that this triangle right here is not going to have the same area as this triangle right here because of the difference in the base length here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is pick one of them to work on first. Maybe let's do this one right here, the one with the base length of 8 feet. Okay, so I'm finding this area right here. Okay? Well, it's a triangle, so the area of a triangle is a half the base times the height, quite simply. Alright, I've got a half. I know that the base length is 8 feet here. My height, what's my height? Well, I'm not told how long that height right there is, because that is the height of the triangle, right? I'm told that the 16 feet goes right down the middle of the figure. So what I need to do is try to use this number that I'm given to find out how long this height of the triangle on the surface is. This is the height down the middle. We want the height on the surface because we're finding the surface area. So what I can do is when I drop this line down the middle of the figure, I can kind of extend that line over to this edge, and I actually see that this would create a right triangle. So I've got a right angle right there. It doesn't look like it because of the angle that I have this drawn at, but this would be a right angle going down the middle of a pyramid to the edge, and it looks a little bit like this, right? My right angle is right there. This base length of 8 feet, actually the 16, so the height of 16 feet goes down the middle of the shape here, so that's right there. Okay? So my triangle has a height of 16. I need to find out how long this is right here. Well, this right here is really just part of the whole length right there, isn't it? And that whole length right there is really going to be 10 feet, isn't it? So I know that this is going to be 10 feet, but this has got to be half of 10, so that leaves me with 5 feet down the bottom here. At this point, I've got a right triangle. I know the 2 leg lengths. I need to find the hypotenuse, so I can use my Pythagorean theorem, right? So I've got c squared equal to a squared plus b squared. Okay? So a would be 5, b would be 16. Okay? So 5 squared plus 16 squared is 281. So that tells me that c is the square root of 281, which we can estimate a little bit. Try not to round too much. So we can call that 16.76 feet. So now I know that this height right here is 16.76 feet, so a bit longer than the height down the middle. So back to my triangle here. My base is 8, my height is now 16.76. So the area of this triangle right here is going to be 1/2 times 8 times 16.76, which gives me approximately 67.04 square feet. Okay? So that's the area of this thing in the front. Alright? But you might say, alright, well, since this is a rectangle on the bottom, this length is the same as this length. That should mean that the area of this triangle in the front here should be exactly the same as the area of this triangle in the back here. And you'd be absolutely correct. So I could say that the area of the second triangle should be exactly the same as the one in the back. So it's also 67.04 square feet. Okay? So now we've got the base done. We've got this triangle in the front done, and this triangle in the back. So all we've got now are the two side triangles. So this guy looking at me right here, and its partner in the back here. Alright, so now let's have a look at that. Alright, so if I'm going for the third triangle, alright, I'm going to take the same approach. I still need to find out how long this length right here is. Right? In order to do my half the base times the height. Right? I do know that my base length is 10, but still need to find out what my height is. Okay? So what I need to do is find out, and I've drawn it kind of incorrectly, it should be more like in the middle here. So I create this right triangle again. Well, here it is now. It's going to look like this again. It's right here, right? Okay, so my right angle is right there. My 16 feet still goes down the middle, the height. Okay, now I need to find out what this length right here is. Well, this length right here, just like the last one, should be half of this length right here. How long is this length right here? Well, it's 8 feet right here, right? So I know that this should be half of 8, so that makes that 4 feet. Okay? So now, just like last time, we used the Pythagorean theorem on that. So c squared is going to be a squared plus b squared, so that's going to be 4 squared plus 16 squared. So 16 squared is 256 plus 4 squared is 16, so that gives me 272. So that tells me that c should be the square root of 272, which I will punch in my calculator here and estimate to be approximately 16.49 feet. So I know that my base is 10, my height is now 16.49 feet. So my area then quite simply would just be a half times 10 times 16.49, which gives me 82.46 square feet approximately. I am rounding here. So that is the area of this triangle that's right here. Just like the last time, this triangle that's in the back then, since it has the same base length of 10, is going to have the exact same area. So I can say that the area of the fourth triangle is actually going to be exactly the same. Okay? Now, I've got the area of my base, the area of my 4 triangles. So now, finding my surface area is pretty straightforward. My total surface area is just going to be the area of the base plus the area of the 4 triangles. Okay? So the area of the base, of course, is 80 square feet. The area of the first 2 triangles was 67.04. So plus 67.04 plus 67.04. The area of the other 2 triangles is 82.46 plus 82.46 plus 82.46. We punch this in our calculator now. So 80 plus 67.04 plus 67.04 plus 82.46 plus 82.46. And providing that I didn't hit a wrong button there somewhere, which is entirely possible, it comes out to be approximately 379 square feet. So that's how you find the surface area of pyramids. Hope that was helpful.